What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the X-Files podcast. Dylan here. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you guys for the continued support. It's been really epic. Really like the emails and the WhatsApps and the calls and the messages. Seeing the viewership going up. Um, Most of the emails and questions are about gear, but that's all right. That's what we love, and we're always trying to find the best gear and the best feels. That's what our shop is all about, and our shop only carries what I like the most. Keep on hitting us up. This episode, I just went through the edit, is with Nicolas. And Nicolas is from Zeeko, kites and foils and wings, and he's got a long history in water sports. Every single water sport you could think of, Nicolas has done it. And we specifically sit down with him because he designed the frigate with F1. Really cool that these brands are reaching out to different designers, different people that are not internally involved in their company or on salary, their specific designers, because I think it adds a lot of value for us because they just have a different perspective on things. As long as they can work together and receive feedback from one another to refine a product, I think it's really exciting, and that is what the frigate kind of gave us. I assume they found Nicolas because of his background, but also because F1's been extremely busy with all their foils boards, and they're hitting the kite market really hard this year. A lot of different designs, new materials, different collabs, for example, like making kites in the Brainchild factory with Ralph Grossel. So I think that was definitely part of it, to have Nicolas design the frigate with them. Like I said, we sit down with him specifically because of the F1 Frigate, and I wish we did sit down with Nicolas and talk to him about him, about his background, about Zeeko and the other things that he's done. We just didn't have the time. AWSI it's so busy, and we're really lucky to actually get this time with Nicolas. It was his first time in the Gorge, and he was at the AWSI with F1. So thank you, Nicolas, for sitting down with us. Love your passion. It really shines through in the conversation that you're very passionate about what you do as a designer and as a rider. I can't speak for Zeeko. I flew one of the Zeeko kites probably back in 2009, and that's the extent of it. And I know they didn't have a specific timeline. They didn't have a deadline on this product, and it came out pretty quick. Such a high-paced sport right now with all these Parawings coming out, and that's why you're seeing a real slowdown in the production, because I don't think brands are rushing to get a Parawing out unless it's really well defined and it has a really good upgrade to what we already have on the market. And what we have on the market right now is phenomenal. I mean, obviously the Parawings are going to be getting better, different material designs, different bridling and stuff like that. So really look forward to seeing what happens next. And I'm happy that it's slowed down a little bit. It was a little bit hectic, a little bit too much to take on. So I hope you guys enjoy this conversation we had with Nico. It was really fun. Thank you for your orders, and thanks for your trust. I really appreciate it, and I really do love the calls to get down to the nitty-gritty of what foil you want and what feels you're looking for, and I hope that I can provide that kind of advice. If you guys want a frigate, I do have all 4 colors. They've got 4 colors now of the frigates in stock, limited inventory. If you don't want a frigate but you want to call and ask about it, give me a call. Instagram, email us, WhatsApp, however you want to reach me. So thank you guys, and enjoy this one. You. All right, so lots of action here at the AWSI, so we'll try to keep it inside the van, but there's a lot happening outside the van. We got Nico here, or Nicolas.
Yeah, Nicolas.
Sorry.
Nico, it's
So welcome, guys, to the X-Files podcast. I'm with Walt and Nicolas from kind of from F1, kind of from other places, helped design the frigate.
Yeah.
So we'll dig into that a little bit.
more Parawing talk here at the X-Files.
I mean, look,
look,
let's
it's the
be honest.
summer of Parawing. What are we going to do?
Yeah. people get what they want. So give us a little bit of history, like, how you got involved in this project, because I know that you're from Zeeko.
Yeah,
Right,
Zeeko
that's
and previously all the companies, and I start my career in water sports. It was almost 30 years old. That's 30 years ago. And
You sound French. Are you French?
yeah, a little. South of France. Then it's not the typical French accent, but this is the typical South French accent.
Okay.
It's
Nice.
a little bit different. And I go for kite surfing, wing foil, hydrofoil. Every time I can go on the water, and especially with hydrofoil, I try to develop all the stuff. And now we have the powering for the 1 year, and it was amazing to start to work on that project.
Yeah. How did that all start up? They just kind of came to you like, look, this Parawing thing's happening.
Yeah.
Will you come in and help work on the design? And yeah, man, tell us about how that went. Because obviously, their Frigate is getting great reviews, right? It's become
Great,
a really
yeah.
popular choice for Parawing, and
Yeah.
for good reason, right?
Yeah, exactly. And what was interesting is with Greg work, it's since the beginning, the first time I saw his video, yeah, this is the way to go for sure. But when I tried to make the first prototype I tuned, it was complicated. We had no depower, nothing. We live in a super gusty wind condition, and not a lot of waves. And finally, we found that it's the sport that's have an evolution so quick. Every time we have a new sport, for example, when we had a kite surf,
It can't be doing this
yeah,
all
yeah,
the time.
all the time, and more. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We need 5 years
Yes.
to have something that is quite good in kite surf. We need 2 years with wing, and now with Parawing is less than 1 year. You see the progress of the product is amazing, and it changed also the ride because the progress of the product
Completely
is there.
agree. We've all been talking about that this summer, how blown away we are with how good V1 is coming out. And
Yeah.
like, I didn't know, like, I don't know what else I can ask for from some of these Parawings already. I mean, I know they'll get better, but they're already performing at such a high level that it's like, it's really, like you said, it's opened up riding in a new way.
Yeah. And you see the future. Now we have maximized a lot of things on the ride, especially the downwind aspect. We try to make it better for also the upwind, because faster you can be for the upwind and more time you have for the downwind. And also when you're yesterday we've been riding in archery, and I go from the AWSI location to archery. What is good now, because we have some super good upwind ability, is you find the best piece of cake of the downwind, and it changed all the mind of the downwinder. So because of the Parawing, then a paddler, you have only one way to go. Then you do all the downwind, the full downwind you want to do. But with the Parawing, you just keep the best location for yourself. Because sometimes what you like is not the best location for your friend. Then you keep it there. Yesterday it was close to the bridge. For me, it was magic. I didn't go for all the full downwind, but just stay on this location. I had a lot of fun. It was my first time in Hood River, and I saw all the videos since I was young. Then now I'm here. Then part of the
Did it
dream
live up
is
to the expectation?
not yet. Because yesterday was not a super huge waves, but I felt the potential.
She said they were 10 foot. They were 20 foot. See that? I saw it.
40. But 40, it's a French calculation of the waves.
Yeah. Exactly. Cool.
Especially from the Mediterranean Sea, already when we talk with the surfer from Biarritz, when we have waves on the Mediterranean Sea, it's 2 meters, but for the guy from Biarritz, it's half a meter.
Half a meter, exactly. So yeah, it was a 2 foot wave yesterday.
When you started the design of the frigate, was it to go upwind?
Yeah, it was one of the main things. Yeah, because I remember the history of the kites. I sat at the real beginning of the kite, and for the first 5 years, I was always scared to go on the water, and we need to work on the depower, and we need to work on the wind range, and also the upwind ability. I remember the first time I go for kite surfing.
Kites?
Yeah, I designed kite, wings, hydrofoil, the boats, everything, which is, for me, the philosophy is when you want to work on these sports, you need to work on all components, because finally you have always one that limited the other one. Sometimes it's the boat, sometimes it's the foil, sometimes it's what is your pulling tool. It could be a wing, it could be a Parawing. Then you have to think all the time what makes your limit. Sometimes it's the Parawing. now the first year the limitation was the Parawing. Now we are at a step is quite good. We have a huge improvement we can still do for sure. Even now because we have also the feedback from the customer. Because at the real beginning, we never know what we want. But as my deep experience in kitefall wings, the upwind is super important because the philosophy for me of the Parawing is not to use anymore a car to go back what I say is to stay on the best location. Then more you go upwind and more you have time to go downwind. And finally, when you have a Parawing that you need, you have not a good VMG, you need 40 minutes to go at the same point instead of 25 or 30, you lose 15 minutes of the downwind. And every time you do it, every time you lose a downwind part of the ride. Even if more and more I like to ride just even in flat water using a Parawing is closer and closer to the kite foil. The feeling is finally more close than kite foiling than wing foiling. Wing foiling, you have the direct feeling and you have the wing just in front of you, but with the kite and the Parawing, you can play a little bit with the wind window. You can put it on top, you can put on the bottom, reach it and pull super hard on the Parawing. Depend of the Parawing, but the philosophy of the frigate was a little bit of that also. It's a kind of mix between having good downwind capability and most important downwind capability is to be able to catch it super easily, but also to have a kind of free ride feeling that is super nice. More you pull, faster you are on the water. And this is something I like. I like to be fast on the water. And now I can be on my beach. You can be one of the fastest on the water, not the kite foiler. If you take the racers, you can't compete with them. But with a wing and even the twin tip kite, you can be so faster. When we saw Théo de Ramcourt at the Défi in France,
Wild.
He killed the other. And for me, it was not surprising. Right? It was there were no reason he didn't win the contest for sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously line length, you talked about collapsibility.
Yeah.
Like line length plays an important role there. Is that how you kind of approached it? Is that like your line length was more defined by its ability to collapse on the downwind? Because, there's a little bit of play with like the ozone's a little bit longer and it has a little bit different feel to it. Why did you end up with the line length you have? Because it is a little bit shorter, but it seems like, is that just the sweet spot for what?
Yeah, exactly. Because you need to find a right balance between performance and collapsing ability, but not only collapsing. Because, for example, for the frigate, the maximum size we had, it was a 4.7. But finally, it was working so well. We start to design a 5.5, and now on the beach we have the 6.5.
6, yeah.
And the line was a super important parameter, the line length for such a size. And finally, it was more important on the big sizes because when you want to go in light wind, especially with a 6.5 or 5.5, for example, and you have some place or some people that weight 100 kilo, then we can say to this guy, no, man, we have only 4.7. It's not for you, this sport. No, they should have a try and could go on the water. Then we need big sizes. And because of this size, the line length is more important, even more than collapsing. For me, it's even more important because you need to go upwind easily, and especially you need to make tacks and you need to make jibe. Mm-hmm. And when you start to ride with the big sizes, you feel that a regular edge jibe is almost impossible. The only way to go in light wind and not only go upwind, okay, I crash, I turn, I go on the other side, is to do down loop. Yeah. Or to do tacks.
You can down loop a 6.5.
Yeah. I down loop the 6.5.
It's easier to turn than
exactly. Because when you turn, the apparent wind is lower and lower, and finally you have no lift enough, and you see during the turn the pocket wing is falling like this, but just put your bar on the top. When you finish the turn, your apparent wind increase and you reopen it. Yeah. And I do all my jibe is like that. I don't do any more for the bigger side than 4 meters. Yeah, exactly.
It's
exactly the same.
And then it comes back.
Yeah, but you don't grab the line. You just
put
your bar up.
Because you're going downwind, it just like kind of falls and then it turns and then it
And my first test when I tried big sizes like this is I put like this, how much I touch the ground. This is the first
and
test.
that's the length that you need
Yeah.
to make sure you're not with
Exactly.
because then people be hitting the water when they make that jibe.
Yeah. And after that, you have the Heineken jibe, but it's so technical also to pass the bar. I can do it. It's not a problem. It's and it's quite fun. But sometimes your succeed rate is lower compared to the down loop when you are used to do it. Is 100%.
Some for everybody out there to try is the down loop jibe. I completely agree. I think it makes anything over like a 3 meter, it just makes it so fluid and easy. With the little wings, it's whatever. You just swing it around. But when they get a little bit bigger, it just because you can keep it loaded as you move it into the down loop, and then as it sits at the bottom, like you said, it always kind of collapses, but it's already like moved through the wind window as it's collapsing, and it's kind of sitting on the other side now, and it's just like waiting for you to just baby turn up wind, and it refills, and you also look cool.
And when you understand that,
of the sport, right?
You know that you can go on in 10 knots of wind. And sometimes you have some bumps and you can go in 10 knots. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, and you talk about, the similarities in some ways to kite foiling. I think that's what this gives is that feeling of like, oh, I barely have enough wind in this canopy, but if I keep looping it around, moving it and swinging my foil, because the foil can move and I can build a parent wind, you can kind of just dance with this thing. And that's the magic that the wing doesn't have, right? Like the wing, you tack, you jive, whatever, you just...
Oh, you can play, you can roll, rotate.
And it looks cool, but this is so flippy and flippy and just awesome, man. I love it. I completely agree. I think that's...
I say that all the time.
Yeah.
That I love parawing because I'm a kiter. I come from a kiting
it's a little
background.
baby kite.
It's a little baby kite, and I love kite foiling, and I love flying kites. It just feels more dynamic to me. So the wing is
exactly.
It's so stagnant.
Yeah, but I like the kite foiling.
I feel like
about not the bigger kite foiling you're talking about, like the little like dancey. You're talking about like
I used to do the dancey stuff. Yeah.
But it's because of the line.
Just
Even
like
if the line is only half a meter, it's half of a meter. You can play with that, with the wind window. Then you can reverse. You can do a lot of things. It's super fun to do it. And even also, what we developed, it's for the big sizes, we have a specific catch handle. It's super easy. I use maybe 50% of the time. It's it's a smaller handle you have on the front bridle. You catch it like this. You totally kill the power of the Parawing, and you can catch the Parawing even when you are reaching or going upwind. Usually it's almost impossible because you have too much load on the line. But with that one, you can kill the power and you change your way to enter in the downwind part of the wave. And sometimes especially when it's super light wind, you need to be able to kill immediately the power, but still before catching the Parawing, you need to go as late as possible in the upwind reach. Sometimes it's like that. It's for example, here we are in the gorge. You have one way you can use the regular way to catch. To take the like me, for example, I bring all the line. You have some people that bring the front line, and on one side I do that, and on the other side, because I start my downwind by an upwind leg, then I catch the handle, and it's easier to
depower that.
To depower, and you don't have to go the first downwind, which is sometimes when you are in light wind, you don't have a lot of speed. You can create more speed like this. It's like, when you go in a big wave, in a tow wind, the first thing you do, you make a lot of tension on the lines, and the catching with a handle like that during the upwind leg, it's create exactly the same feeling, and which is quite interesting.
Oh, cool. So you can like pull off of it, whip yourself in, and then it's collapsed in your hand, opposed to like whipping in, waiting for it to stall, and then pull.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's super cool, man.
It's worked like a kind of sando, elastic.
And try this. So let's just start with like the 3 meter. What is the wind range for your 3 meter?
The 3 meter, the wind range, if you have one board, one foil, because you can increase a lot the wind range, but one board, one foil, it could be around 18 knots to a maximum of 30 knots.
That's a crazy.
But with a harness line.
With a harness line,
If you don't use the harness line, you know that you will lose at least 5 knots of the high end of the product, because all the Parawing doesn't matter. This is a frigate or another one. This is a single skin. For the single skin Parawing, because now
we'll be asking about your thoughts on double skins here in a second.
Then with a single skin, we have no choice. The way to manage the power, make that faster we are on the water, or stronger is the wind, you have more power on the front rider. Then we need the harness line. For me, the harness line, if we keep the same philosophy of the kite foil, it's like when you don't use the harness line especially for the upwind, because when people that use the pocket wind just for downwind, just to start, finally it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You don't need a harness line.
But when you want to go back to the same point at the end of the day, you need a harness line. It's like the chicken loop of the kite. It's like without the harness line, you can ride an hook all the day long, but your arms will be super tired. The target is to.
And I don't think you can reach as efficient a
exactly,
right? Like the ability when you hook
are
in
less
to really
accurate.
sit back on your center of gravity and just fine-tune it.
You're just not strong enough. Like,
because you have to depower it enough for your arms not to feel in stress. You have to pull so far on the front lines that it starts to lose its efficiency. Back. So if you can tighten it up a little bit, keep that sail tighter, it's even more efficient. But you can only do that if you're you can hook in. Right? It feels so good.
And I think it's more you have some wings, some pocket wings. Need a little bit less the harness line compared to the other, because in the design you have some. You have two. For me, you have two kind for the single skin. Two kind of way to manage the power. And mostly the deep power. The first one is to change. I have the same philosophy comparing the foil kite with the tube kite. The tube kite, for example, when you want to manage the power, you change the angle of attack, the whole angle of attack of the kite. When you have a foil kite, you don't use a lot of this. You use more the wind window, and when you want to depower, you edge a little bit more, and you put your kite more on the edge of the wind window. And you have some powering that work on the tube kite category, and you have some powering that work on the foil kite category. And the frigate is more on the foil kite category and you can see when you ride the frigate, you see on the water, it's always pushing in front. You want to push on the edge of the wind window. And this is the philosophy I put on the frigate. You can do the other one. The other one, it can be good if you are slow on the water. You don't want to use harness line, but when you want to be fast on the water, and when you want to have also a good feeling, good vibes when you ride fast on the water, and not on the downwind part, but also on the upwind, reaching or whatever. This philosophy is quite good, and because all the time for me, one of the best feeling I have riding upwind is kite foil, and I want to have exactly the same feeling. It's so
and that's the thing.
The wing can't achieve that.
Yeah,
the powering can do. This is the first sport after the kite that can the first. I mean, air tool. For me, this is an air tool. We play with the air. We have the power wing, we have the kite, we have the wing, we have the windsurf, and this is the only one with the kite that could create this kind of specific feeling.
Yeah, and that's the feedback I've heard a lot too, is people saying that the frigate feels a lot like a kite, and it has that same kind of power and pull, especially when you get into the front of the window and you're beaming upwind.
Yeah, I love how at the beginning everyone's like, they'll never be as efficient as a wing.
Well,
maybe they are more efficient than a wing, you know?
Yeah, because
we're actually flying.
We don't have the tube. We don't have the leaning edge. If you cancel the leaning edge, it's exactly the same difference in performance you have between the foil kite. Look at the Olympic Games. There is no tube kites. And the tube kites. But I didn't say one is better than the other, because it's depend of what you are looking for.
I make it like a personal challenge every time I'm sailing at the hatch. If I see somebody on a wing who's like on a similar attack as me, I will like try to beat them upwind to just be like, even maybe they're not trying as hard as I am, but I'm winning.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Parawing gets upwind better.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, especially if you're in a race against someone that
doesn't know they're racing. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm winning.
Even if we have a tool for the downwind, we like to go upwind finally. And it's super fun to do it.
So what are your thoughts on double skins? I mean, we all got to kind of try the paella. I don't know if you've had a chance to try Greg's newest thing, but it does have some unique feels, right? And there's some like really cool top end performance there. Do you guys see that as something that's going to work its way into the fabric of what we're doing here? Or is it just kind of a gimmick?
No, it's not a gimmick.
We want the hard hitting answers.
Yeah. For the story, I tried to use the double skin, but close sail Parawing. It was last October. It was flying super well, to be honest. What is the main thing you can have on the paper, because after that it depends on the design. You look at all the different powering, they have all different character, all different performance. On the double skin, it's exactly the same. You can have some good, some bad, some good upwind, some good downwind, some good low end, high end. It should be exactly the same. It depends on the cursor you put.
Because that's more about wing shape, less about the double foil, right? That just is giving you a more solid wing surface, so eventually you'll get more efficiency, correct?
Yeah, for sure, because we have an intrados, and when you have the intrados, finally you reduce the drag, but also you reduce the total camber of the wing. When you look at the paraglider, for example, when you use a double skin paraglider, you use approximately 20 meters square to lift and to go in the air. And when you use a single skin for the same lift, you have only 16 meters square. It's smaller because of the camber. The camber is when you take the extrados shape and you take the intrados shape and you make the curve that is in the middle. A single skin, it's only one skin, and the camber is super high like this. And when you have a double skin, you have the intrados and extrados, and the complete camber is in the middle. It's more flatter. Then it makes that usually on the paper, it's because I'm very conservative when I say on the paper, because there is tons of parameters you can play with. But on the paper, if you compare a single skin profile to a double skin profile, one has less drag, there's a double skin, which is super good, which is good, especially when you go on the high end because you have less power on the front end.
Yeah, and that's
that could be comfortable. But the detrimental part is also you lose a lot of low end. And you need to find the right balance and calculate what is my benefits on the top end and what is the detrimental part on the bottom end. After that, we didn't talk about that, but you can also in the double skin discuss about closed cell, open cells. It will change a lot of things. Personally, I tried some closed cell and I found that it was quite interesting also to for the relaunching, because you have all time water in the air in the double skin. It was super easy to relaunch. Then you need to take all the parameters, but for sure they will have some double skin. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. And then you guys have the Plume also. Were you had a hand in that development?
No. I was not in the development, but for the quick history, I was super scared about the Plume because when they asked me to design the frigate, I didn't know the Plume. Even if I know Raphael for 30 years. We met on the beach, and all the time with Raphael, I'm joking with him about that. We say hello like this, and when we pass together, we see the prototype or the other. I see your prototype.
What you got? Yeah.
All the time we are like that. So, when we've been riding on the water, we never see in the eyes like this. No, I don't see you. And when we pass, and with the Plume, I heard a little bit of the Plume. And when I start the project, they say, okay, now it was a secret project for them. Try it. And like this, you will know what we did. And I was super impressed by the wind range. I'm so curious. I heard about the Plume because I heard that some people say, yeah, Raphael is doing in secret a wing is close to a kite. The first thing I did in my garage is I take a kite, a 3-strut kite. I remove the bridle. I go directly to the vertical bar like the powering. I say, my God, the fucking top end is impressive. Yeah. I have no low end. But you feel that there is no limit. And even it was just with the kite, with not the optimized leading edge diameter you have on the Plume.
Yeah, it was just thrown together.
Yeah.
It worked out great.
And it's different. The problem is, at the beginning, when you look at it, you say, what is that?
Yeah, totally right.
It's and I have
it makes a
kite background of the Wipika Classic, the two-line kite, because it's very similar in terms of shape, but what he done with the bridle, with this, he makes something and with the widest wind range. The widest wind range doesn't mean this is the best in the low end. It's not the case of the Plume. you have to be honest.
Well, what I'm saying is
But-
like you can't pack it away, right? Like that's the big sacrifice you make for all
Yeah.
that wind range is like you've got an inflatable leading edge, so which is has to be kind of the parameter for downwinding unless you want to carry a fucking pool noodle with you for a whole.
If
run,
you're a
right?
purist, yes, but if
But for somebody who's
you are
just sailing.
from a wing, even what is interesting with the Plume is, for me, it's quicker to pass from the riding style to the freestyle style with a Plume compared to a wing.
Because the depower is immediate.
Yeah, you just
grab it.
grab the leash, and it's a kind of magic on that. All the time I tried it, I have the handle that's come in my hand like this. When I ride a wing, I need to a little bit move like this to grab the free handle, and this is
Well, then it has all that structure that's affecting you when you're surfing, probably. Whereas this loses all the structure.
for sure compared to a Parawing, you can't compete. You can't compete definitely, but compared to a wing, yeah, it's quite interesting. It's but for me, it's a different sport. We will see. I think the people will ride the Plume. We don't have the same kind of ride than the Parawing. What we have now with the single skin. I discussed also with some freestylers we have in the team. Which one do you prefer, the Frigate or the Plume? And most of them say the Plume. The Plume for freestyling is quite, Chris and Luca.
Luca.
And they say there is only one trick with the Frigate I do better than the Plume, but the Plume for the freestyle, it will open. We are the beginning of two sports for me.
Yeah.
Two different sports.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like this is the beginning of something so big, right?
Yeah.
Parawing just has this far reach because it gives you power. Right?
Yeah.
So it all of a sudden it taps into kiters, it taps into kite foilers, it taps into wing toilers, right? And then downwinders, and we're kind of all finding it as this like magical tool that I don't think, nobody's even really, we see clips, but this will be the first full season in waves for most people. So like to see what we can do with it in the same scenarios that we used to wing surf, right? And have that is going to be really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
How did it happen that they approached you or you approached
why
them?
you?
Or why you? Like,
because no one wants to do it. They try to call different people and they say, no.
It sounds
They
like a
were super
terrible
scary.
idea.
And me, I was not scary. I say, okay.
Well, it's also always
I
scary.
play my Joker.
Yeah, I love it.
It's always scary too. Like if something new, they don't know how much do you invest in this and how much are you going to get back from it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so I guess there's always a piece of the puzzle there.
Yeah. The story, it's Julian who called me. Julian is the son of Rafael. I never met Julian in my life. And then I receive a call. And finally, we had a meeting. We discussed. And I know for sure why they contact me is because he saw me on the beach and fighting with the Parawing for 6 months to make a little bit of depower. I crash all the time. But I think I'm not in the head of Rafael and Julian, but I think they see this guy want to fight. I want to find a solution. Then he saw that on a wing and hydrofoil. I was one of the first in France to do it in kites. For the history, my first kite I bought, I was 24 years, something like that. It was in 1998, something like that. The first kite I bought, it was the F1. It was the first and the last. After that, I worked for different company. But we meet on the water all the time, and he saw that already. I start to tune some Parawing, and we discuss about the target, and I say, okay, I try it. We have no limits. It doesn't matter. They didn't push me to make it as fast as possible. The target was, we want a Parawing that work. First, doesn't matter if we need to spend 6 months, 1 year, but we want one we are happy with. And I was exactly on the same way of thinking. At this period, nothing was really. I started to have some different Parawing I tried. I feel we are on the right way with the other one, but we had a lot of room of improvement. When I look on the video, I look a lot the video on internet of the Parawing. They were not a lot because we start the project in January. We start to discuss in January, and we start the project in the middle of February, which is super quick.
Super quick.
Yeah. But I say to Rafael now, I never did a project as fast as this one. Never in my life. It was only 2 times in my career as a product designer to be so quick to design a product.
Yeah.
This one, even if I had no experience with paragliding, but what is super interesting is this is not my own design. It's team building design. I know it looks like a blah, blah, blah marketing content like this, but it was definitely like this. For example, me, I was so focused on the riding style. At the beginning, I started to have a longer line because my kite foil philosophy was like this. And Julian, with his since the beginning, focus on the downwind, catching. It's running super well, but I can't catch it. Then, okay, go on the table board and make trimming. Then after that, I design in the night a new bridle, make some knots, etc., to reduce it, to make the trimming was good. And then Julian was a part of that with Vincent, one of our R&D engineer, and also one part that counts a lot is Robert Graham. Robert Graham is the guy designing the wings for F1. He was designing previously also the kites. He was one of the most famous paraglider designer in the world. He worked for different big companies, and every time I had a mistake, I call Robert because he have the knowledge. My knowledge is designing wing, kites. The maximum bridle I had on a kite was maybe 10 bridle.
Yeah, right.
Here we are 60.
Right.
Then I never trim something with 60. Every time, what is fun is every time I try to do some rammer kite, foil kite for Zeeko for my previous company, I failed all the time. I was not happy, and I never had any kite I succeed to design. And with that one, I don't know. Everything was well aligned. I think with all the video I see, all the product I tried, I was at the moment. It's not usual for me, but everything was well aligned. I tried to make a trimming, it works. Another trimming, it works. Another one, and it was super quick like that. And what I say every week to Raphael and Julian, it will be not the case for the next one. It was a good surprise. It was super good. We are lucky, man. It's not. I'm not more intelligent or nothing than we've been very lucky. All the trimming we did, because when you make a trimming, it's you have a theory behind. Yeah. But sometimes you fail. Yeah. For example, last time, the last wing I designed, I spent 2 years to have the result I want. Every time there was something I didn't understand, why this doesn't work, why this doesn't work. 2 years is spent for me to understand exactly what's happened. And on this one, it was super fast.
Yeah, well, it's great that, I think that goes to F1, like their parameters for you. It's like, I don't care how long it takes. We're going to build something that we feel really good about to go to market. And I think a few of the brands attacked it that way. Some other brands were like, okay, we need to get stuff in people's hands because they want to do this sport. Even if it's
but perfect, no, this is not the philosophy.
And
definitely,
but that philosophy has helped in V1 push it to this next level. Because if it was all about just getting something in somebody's hands, like we would have never gotten to these like more elegant, created products. And I think that now all of a sudden we're seeing the real potential of where this sport could go. So thanks.
They know since the beginning they will not be the first. Yeah. And keep time, do a good job, and we will see. And the results was a mix of different parameters because what I say, the Plume stressed me a lot. Because the wind range was so huge, and there is some property on this that are super interesting. And
they were already on.
I need to work on the wind range. I need to work on the upwindability. I need to work on the catch and to mix all together. And what was good is there were no limit in terms of prototype. If we need to, we didn't make a lot of prototype. Finally, we spend maybe 20 prototype. But in terms of bridle system, I maybe test 70 different settings on one side. I spend, when I am in the R&D process, finally I spend more time on the water, making some knots on the bridle and disconnecting and put a bridle on other location and riding. Because every time
sounds so stressful.
I see a wrinkle here. Oh, now I have a collapsing on the high end.
+1, -2. +1, -2.
Yeah, exactly. It's but I love that. Yeah. I love that, and I felt that I was during this period, it was so fun because I felt that it's super rare for me. Really connected with the Parawing. Every time I try something, I think it's what is good for a bad fall kite designer like me is the kite was so far, I didn't see anything. When I looked far,
you couldn't see.
what's happened.
Right
I
here,
don't know
like,
what's
oh, you
happened.
see that wrinkle?
Yeah. And here,
I'm so stressed out.
is there is super simple. Okay, the wrinkle is that, why not? Okay, this is resolved. Next trouble. Is that
I'm sure it's like a domino, right? You adjust here and then boom, 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 boom. All the lines need to be adjusted afterwards, right? Well, I feel like we got to go get some frigates in our hands and go get on the water.
I have had frigates.
Oh yeah, you have them.
Sold-
I'm just saying, like
sold
right
them
now,
all.
like literally there's wind, and now all this talk of frigates. I want to go ride.
Yeah,
them.
I love the frigate. I've tested a lot of Parawings, and the frigate for me is like a top. You know, I love the way that it flies. I love how it holds all its shape. There's no flapping. How efficient it is. It just felt very intuitive, and I really liked it right from the get-go. So you guys did a great job, and can't wait to see what else you bring out. You know, I'm sure you're gonna work on some more stuff. What do you think the future is? Do you have any dreams? Do you lay there at night and think about parawinging, or
If I want to parawing to the moon,
No, it's for the wind range for sure. If we can increase more the wind range, even if now it start to be acceptable. 6 months ago or 8 months ago, the wind range of the Parawing was very poor. Then the wind range for me also less bridle. If we can remove the bridle, if you can make easier also for the beginners, because now at this step it's not acceptable for the real beginner. This is why there is also some room for the Plume, because the Plume is a real plug and play.
we've done that already. Someone wanted to learn how to parawing. We took them out. We put them on a Plume, and they found it way easier to learn. They
exactly.
transitioned to
doesn't
the
tangle.
frigate. It was kind of cool.
Because the similarity between the Plume and the Parawing is a vertical bar.
it's the
The
bar.
way it works, the way you drive it, it's almost the
you
same.
can just get less trouble.
Yeah.
Easier to launch, easier to collapse,
Yeah.
easy, no tangles, right? Like the whole thing just works better for.
Yeah, we have room in performance. We have room in freestyle also, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
For the downwind, I think we are quite good now. We can catch, we can stash it. It's quite easy, even if we can make some, but it will be
Like
only
material
small
adjustments.
improvements. Material, we have a huge work to do on material. The shape also, we are at the real beginning on that.
Shit, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you talked about range, and range is everything, right? Because as we get into this, what is our biggest limiting factor on upwind sailing is, your board, right, becomes the next thing that's determining if you're going to get on, and then your foil, right?
Yeah.
And even how that all works out. And as we get more range, because what do we want? We want to be on short boards with tiny foils, but I don't want to be like completely overloaded and be on a 3.6 just to get out of the water when I really need a 2.4 to sail. And I think that that's the future, right? Is like us being able to continue to ride smaller gear and have the upwind range to like really charge. Because you're right. I mean, look, downwinding is epic for the shuttling. The shuttling is part of the thing. If you don't do that as a downwinder, I think you're missing out on part of the magic of the tournament. It's like it's being 10 deep, crammed in this van with foils hitting you in the face, and everybody's sweaty and laughing, and you're excited to go to the top. But sailing and be able to do without a car shuttle is like a huge piece of it too. And like you were saying, be able to like milk that sweet section. Even if you're shuttling, like a lot of times what I'll do is I'll
hang out with your friends.
You hang out with your friends, but then when I get to that section, now I'm always the last one to the car and everybody's waiting on me. But I'll go back and lap the good section like twice, right? So I milk that good section, and I kind of get the best of both worlds, you know?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think the future wind range is just going to really open up as everything is like more performance, right? We're pushing the foils harder. And I think Parawings are going to let us do that in a bigger way when we get on smaller gears.
Parawing is already starting to have an impact in the hydrofoil design and in the board design, because finally it's quite specific compared to wing. It's not because it feels like you have the same tool to have the power, but it's definitely not the same.
Totally different.
Yeah. Then you need to adapt a little bit the boards. The foil also, we see more and more foil dedicated for the Parawing. And what I said at the beginning, you always need to think about what are the limitations of your sport, which component it is the limitation. Now the Parawing make a step. Now we need to work a little bit on the boards also and the foil, because we need to adapt them. And we'll see a new limitation with the Parawing, and we need to rework the Parawing depending of what we change on the hydrofoil. And this is what is very, very interesting. It's a complete setup you need to work, and not only on the air power management you have with the Parawing. It's almost everything. And we will see. I don't know. With maybe hydrofoil, the target could be. It's just a dream. If we can have the same performance without any hydrofoil, you can open the sport for even more people, because hydrofoil can be scary for most of the people. The first time people see an hydrofoil, oh my God, it looks super dangerous. But when you are used, not even if I have a lot of stitching in my head, it's fraudy, but this is for the story. But
Foils are fine.
it looks,
It's okay.
if we can work on different aspects of the sports, it could be also good. I don't know, maybe experiencing using a longboard, just riding the Parawing to catch the wave, and because we can stash it.
Yep.
Why a longboarder will not use it? I don't know, just
Right.
to
If
go
you
down
can-
on
if
it.
you have enough glide,
Yeah.
totally.
It's just, I never tried it, but we are the starting point of one thing is last winter it was so cold when I tried the pocket wing. I need to use a skateboard because the water was at 3 degrees. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Then I use a skateboard, and finally it works well also. It's a tool you can use on the ground. Then
Yeah.
there is a lot of
I've
things.
sold a lot of tiny wings to people in Puerto Rico that want to use it on their skateboard. They
Yeah,
buy like little 1.5, 2.9s, 2s, and they skateboard.
Oh,
with
really?
it.
That's awesome.
They don't even foil. They just want to skateboard.
yeah, exactly. And when you use a
Parawing is
longboarder, the pumping is not like this, but it's like this. But
Yep.
finally, the result is exactly the same. Then you can play with that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right on.
Land parawinging, the next future.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I know you got to go, so
Yeah.
you gave us plenty of your time. Thank you so
And
much.
thank
man.
you for the invite. I'm
Oh,
very
Stoked, dude. It's
Oh, we're
people will love to hear this.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
thank you.
So
yeah, very excited about the frigate and all the great parawings that are just shaping this industry right now. So thanks for coming on.
yeah. Thank you. Bye bye.